Yours is to start building. And it is God who will grant you success. So don't worry about that. I think sometimes that's what slows us down and restricts us or limits us. We spend so much time thinking about the end product, the success. How is it going to look like? Is it going to sell? Will this business be successful? Will this marriage be like this? You want to figure out the whole thing, but your job is not to figure out the end. God, you are not Omega. I don't remember your name being Omega. Is it? It is God who is Alpha and Omega. He knows the end from the beginning. And the fact that He has started this good work in you means that He will bring it to a complete end, a flourishing finish. And so yours is to start building or rebuilding. And now that you can't do by yourself.
In this atmosphere, there are miracles, signs and wonders.
Hello family, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are. God bless you. My name is Josephine, if you don't know me, and thank you so much for tuning in back. I hope this message blesses you. We have been studying the book of Nehemiah. I shared in a previous video that we will be going through the reflections, and it is centered around the theme, proceed to build. I believe that in the last 2 months of the year 2025, from November to December, there is a mandate to build, right, or rebuild. And so who better to study than Nehemiah himself? And so today we're going to look at chapter 2. And before we get started, I want to start off with an adage or a proverb that many of you have probably heard of. And it says that if you want to go faster, you go alone. But if you want to go further, you go together. I want to add a layer to this to say that if you want to go further and faster, then you need, or it takes, a man or a woman who has received a vision from God or a mandate from God and is stepping out in obedience to carry it forth. And this is the most important part, a people that would come together to say, let us. That is so powerful. And so the topic or the title we're exploring today is the power of let us. Let us, the power in let us, right? In the beginning, Genesis, the Bible said that's the first place we hear this terminology. God said, let us make man in our own image. That was the beginning of the let us together. That is a gathering of minds and expressions coming together. Another time that we see this in the Bible was that when the people were building the Tower of Babel, right? The Bible said that they said, let us come together and build this tower. And the Lord said that the people have become one, and there's nothing that can come between them. And so that reveals those two examples alone reveals the power of togetherness, a group of people coming together on one accord, to agree on a vision, to say that we will do this, we will execute this. And when you say let us, it gives you, there's nothing that can be impossible, right? And when we look at this chapter 2, you're going to see why. There was a powerful revelation that I saw and it made me so excited. Before we get into that, I want to share that in November, this is the November 2025, if you're listening, and I know that it's going to be applicable for anybody, whatever time you're hearing this. It's just marking a beginning of a new season. We are in a Kairos moment. We are in a new dimension, and the Lord is moving. The Spirit of God is moving, and things are moving very fast. And we believers are called to build and rebuild. The Lord has put burdens on your heart. He's exposing things and bringing things to light. In the last chapter, we talked about the fact that the seed began with a problem. There was a revelation that Jerusalem's walls were ruined, and it was burned and it was in chaos. And that is what we walked in. And there was a burden on Nehemiah's heart that he was called to go and rebuild. And so now when we walk into chapter 2, that's where we are. Nehemiah has received favor from the king, and he is, he's the king. He's given the king a definite time that it's going to take me 52 days to rebuild this wall. And that's very important for some of you. You have to set a definite time. What is a definite time for what God is calling you to achieve? Now, this might cause you to go to prayer and ask the Lord for the timeline. And other times it might just be your own act and will to say that I'm determined, I'm going to do this in 2 months, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, whatever it might be, right? But make sure you have a definite time. That makes it realistic. That makes sure that you're not unfocused and, just basa basa. We say that basa basa is a Ghanaian term. We're like, you're just walking basa basa. You have no direction. You're here and you're there. Make sure that you are single-minded and you're focused. And so where I want us to draw attention to is some certain key terms and verses I will read, because I believe that they are powerful to today's word when we are trying to understand the power of let us. Okay, Nehemiah chapter 2, verse. I want to go to verse from 16 to 18. Okay, and so it reads, I'm reading the Christian Standard Bible. So verse 16 says that this is what after Nehemiah had gone to scout the place, it says that the officials did not know where I had gone or what I was doing, for I had not yet told the Jews, priests, nobles, officials, or the rest of those who would be doing the work. Verse 17, so I said to them, you see the trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins and its gates have been burned. Come, let's rebuild Jerusalem's wall, so that we will no longer be in disgrace. I told them how the gracious hand of my God had been on me and what the king has said to me. They said, this is the officials, the people that he was speaking to, let us start rebuilding. And their hands were strengthened to do this good work. Amen. That is so powerful. 2 times Nehemiah said, when he was encouraging them and calling them, a call to action, said, let us rebuild. Come, let us rebuild the walls that are in ruins. They respond and say to him that, let us start rebuilding. They agreed, they declared, they came into one understanding. And the Bible said that the moment they came to that agreement, their hands were strengthened to do the good work. That is so powerful. Listen, family. In this season, number 1, you cannot execute the will of God or the purposes and plans over your life by yourself. The vision God has given you is beyond you. It's grand. You can't do it by yourself. And so if you're tired, if you're frustrated, if it's like the weight is on your shoulder, it's probably because you're trying to do it by yourself. You are not going back to God for the blueprint or the strategy. Stop, pause, breathe. Go back to the Lord and ask for the blueprint and the strategy. Who are the people that are called to help you rebuild? And number 2 is that when you go there, recognize that there will be all manner of people, that resources are available, doors will be open, all manner of people are ready to help you. It started with the king. Nehemiah was privileged to be in serving the king, that the king gave him, help. The king gave him the letters that would allow him to pass through the different provinces with no trouble. So look around you, see where you are, where you have been placed, maybe where you're working, or the church, the ministry, or the organization. That is your all of that is supposed to be your conduit or your vessel of help. Okay. And secondly, the people that were going to do the work was a multitude of people. It wasn't just, one single people. The Bible said that he was speaking to the Jews, he was speaking to officials, he was speaking to the priests, he was speaking to nobles. Okay, these are all very important people, and they all came together to agree and said, let us start rebuilding. So know that the vision you have will reach a multitude of people. Different caliber of people will come together, but you need to express the vision, right? Nehemiah called out to them and said that, listen, where our Jerusalem lies in ruins. Let's get out of this disgrace. Let's come together and work on this. So you might have the burden, but guess what? It's not just you. There are other people who feel that burden. And when you begin to express it, when you begin to speak it out loud, when you begin to raise a sound, the right people will come to you. They will be drawn. They will know that you are speaking their language, and they will agree and say, let us rebuild it. Okay, you are going to rebuild it in the set time. And that is why it was so powerful, because don't be afraid to set a time. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, this is going to be completed in 6 months or in a year's time. The reason why we hesitate is because you think that, oh my God, how can I possibly do this in 6 months? When you look at just yourself, you are one person. You cannot do it by yourself, and not in that time. But when you think broader, when you think beyond yourself, when you know that you serve an abundant God, a God who will bring you the resources you need, when you say that, Lord, this thing has to be done in 52 days, like Nehemiah declared, then the Lord will bring the people that he ought to bring, and they will come with their resources and their people. When we go through the chapters, you're going to recognize how Nehemiah by himself could not have possibly rebuilt the wall. This wall took many years to build, right? And so one person cannot do it by himself, or even a few people. It took a group. But the powerful thing, number 3 here, is that the moment you declare that I am ready, let us, once a group of people come together to say, let us execute this vision, let us take a step towards this mandate, the Bible said that their hands were strengthened to do the good work. Hallelujah. So maybe perhaps sometimes our hands are weak or not strengthened because we don't have a togetherness mindset. Everybody wants different things. There is the vision barrier, and there are people that are supposed to come together, but they're fighting. They want to do their own thing. It should be like this. Oh, I want it to look like this. But come on, stop. Look at the vision. Let's come back, right? The Bible said in Habakkuk 2 verse 2 that write down the vision, make it plain, that one who reads it may run with it. So when somebody comes to you, when a leader comes to you, when somebody comes to you and says that I have this vision, here it is, I've written it down, this is what the Lord is telling me. You as the other person, your role is to read it and run with it, not read it and edit it. Not read it and say that, oh, we should do this. It should, be negative. Read it and run with it. That's what the Bible is calling us to do. So sometimes for some of us who are maybe the followers of a vision, you are discouraging the vision bearer. You are frustrating them because they have received a vision from God and they're telling you that this is how it ought to be, and you don't understand because it doesn't make sense to you. But trust and believe that the God who gave the vision is the one that is leading and directing, and your role in this whole thing is to have a mindset of togetherness. Come and say, let us. We need a let us spirit in this season to be able to do that. Believers, we need to come together. We can no longer be separate and say, oh, this church is doing their own thing and that church is doing their own thing. No, we are all gunning for the same goal, the salvation of souls, the restoration of lives, to draw men to Christ. That is our mandate. That is the will. Let us come together and do that. Let us come together and rebuild the walls that have been broken. The foundations are faulty, right? The foundations that we started off are shaky, but it's okay. Guess what? When Jerusalem's wall lied, it was in ruins for many years, but when they finally said, let us start building, their hands were strengthened for the good work. Okay? And there, of course, expect the naysayers. When you keep reading, it says that, Sanballat and the Tobias, they came and they were mocking them and thinking like, people are going to look at you and think you're crazy. Like, what are you doing? You really think that you can rebuild this thing? You really think that you can go back to school? You really think that you can restore this marriage? You really think that that child is going to be okay? You really think the people are going to question you? But this is the reply that Nehemiah gave, and that's where we're going to wrap up. He said that in verse 20. I gave them this reply, and that's the reply to all the mockery and, the things that the naysayers were saying. Nehemiah said, the Lord, the God of the heavens, is the one who will grant us success. We, his servants, will start building. but you have no share, right, or historic claim in Jerusalem. So powerful. It is God who will grant us success. We, his servants, our job is to start building. Okay, family. So if you're listening to me, remember this. Yours is to start building, and it is God who will grant you success. So don't worry about that. I think sometimes that's what slows us down and restricts us or limits us. We spend so much time thinking about the end product, the success. How is it going to look like? Is it going to sell? Will this business be successful? Will this marriage be like this? You know, you want to figure out the whole thing, but your job is not to figure out the end. God, you are not Omega. I don't remember your name being Omega. Is it? It is God who is Alpha and Omega. He knows the end from the beginning. And the fact that he has started this good work in you means that he will bring it to a complete end, a flourishing finish. And so yours is to start building or rebuilding. And now that you can't do by yourself. So I pray today that the Lord will bring the men and the women that you need in your life in this season, the ones with the oneness of heart and single mind to come together to say, let us start building, so that their hands will be strengthened for the good work that the Lord has called us to. I pray that the wrong people, the Sanballat, the Tobias, the naysayers that will keep speaking, that the Lord will give you wisdom to reply and say that I know that my God will grant me success. Let God give us a knowing, the confidence in him, knowing that he will grant us success. And all we have to do is to start building. So family, God bless you all. I hope that this message encourages you and blesses you. Take some time to read and meditate on the chapter 2. It's so powerful. There's so much I have to say here, but I just wanted to highlight some of the key things just for us to get through the series. And in your quiet time, do a deeper dive, pray with it, ask the Lord to show you more, to reveal to you. I have so many notes, and probably I'll tackle another side of this in another video, but for today, I pray that the right people will come to your life. And as you come together to build, that the Lord will grant you success. In Jesus' name, I pray. God bless you. Take care of yourselves. Stay warm if you're in a cold area, but love you all.
in this atmosphere.